You ever notice how blaming your mood on random stuff actually kind of makes it worse?
Totally. Like, knowing why you act the way you do doesn't always make walking away from it any easier.
Today, we're going into how understanding those so called gunas can actually unlock a whole new way of taking action without getting stuck.
All right, Buller, hang tight. We're grabbing our notes and we'll get this episode going in a second. Welcome back. Today we're tackling two verses that get to the very heart of action and identity.
Okay, I'm ready. After last time with the whole ego thinks it's the doer idea, my head has been spinning a little.
That's the perfect place to be, because today, Krishna explains what's really going on. By the end of this, the goal is to understand how seeing the world as an interplay of natural forces can free you from the stress of doership.
Freedom from stress sounds good, but what does doership even mean? It sounds like owning a business or something.
It's the deep-seated feeling that I am the one making everything happen. I am achieving this. I am failing at that. Verse 3.28 offers a radical alternative. It says, "But the knower of truth, O mighty armed, perceiving that the gunas as senses are moving among the gunas as objects."
Oh, okay. Gunas moving among gunas. That sounds like a riddle.
It does, but it's actually a very precise description of reality. Let's break it down. The gunas are the three fundamental modes or qualities of all material nature: sattva, rajas, and tamas.
Right. Purity, passion, and inertia. We've talked about those.
Exactly. So everything in the material world, including our bodies, our senses, our minds, and all the objects we interact with, they are all combinations of these three gunas. They are all prakriti, or nature.
So when the verse says gunas as senses are moving among the gunas as objects, what does that actually look like?
Imagine you see a delicious-looking piece of cake. Your eyes, which are a product of the gunas, are interacting with the cake, which is also a product of the gunas. A desire arises in your mind. Again, gunas at play. The entire event is a dance of nature's qualities.
Huh. So where am I in that equation?
That's the million-dollar question. The knower of truth, the Tatvavit, realizes their true self is the silent, changeless witness to this entire dance. Not the dancer, not the dance floor, but the conscious observer.
So the I that thinks, I want that cake, is actually just a thought pattern produced by the gunas?
Precisely. The ego claims ownership, but it's just nature interacting with nature. Realizing this is what leads to non-attachment. You aren't attached to the action because you know you aren't the one doing it.
Let's make this more concrete. Let's do a little thought experiment. Think of a simple, everyday action you do, like making coffee.
Okay, making coffee. I do that every morning.
Walk me through it, but try to describe it from this new perspective. Not as I am doing this, but as an observer watching the gunas interact.
Okay, let's see. The body feels a sense of grogginess. That's tamas, I guess. Then a thought arises, coffee would help. That feels like rajas, a desire for action.
Good. Keep going. What happens next?
The body moves to the kitchen. The hands, instruments of nature, scoop the coffee grounds, which are an object of nature. The eyes see the water filling the machine. The nose smells the aroma.
And?
It's all just a process, a sequence of natural interactions. My usual thought is, I really need this coffee to function. But from this view, it's just a body-mind mechanism seeking a certain state. It's not so personal.
That's exactly it. You see the shift? It moves from a desperate ego-driven "I need this" to an observation of a natural process. That space you just created is the beginning of detachment.
Wow. Okay. That actually feels lighter. less pressure.
That lightness is key. This understanding transforms karma yoga from a chore into a form of liberation. When you act without the burden of I am the doer, the action doesn't create karmic residue. But this leads us to the second verse, 3.29.
What does that one say?
It says, "Those deluded by the gunas of nature get attached to the functions of the gunas. The one of perfect knowledge should not unsettle the ignorant who are of imperfect knowledge."
Wait, so if you know this amazing, liberating truth, you're supposed to keep it to yourself?
Not exactly. It's about skillful means. Think about it. If you go up to someone completely invested in their career goals and say, "Hey, you're not actually doing any of that, it's just nature's dance," what's likely to happen?
They'd probably be confused or angry or think I'm telling them to just give up and do nothing.
Exactly. This knowledge, if delivered without context or readiness, can be deeply destabilizing. It can be misinterpreted as an excuse for apathy or irresponsibility. Oh, it wasn't my fault, it was just my gunas.
Ah, I see. So the responsibility of the wise isn't to shatter people's worlds, but to, what, guide them gently?
Yes, to lead by example, as we discussed in the last few episodes. You continue to perform your duties with excellence and care, but you do so with an inner detachment. People see your peace, your stability, your lack of franticness, and they become curious. You inspire them to seek, rather than bludgeoning them with a truth they aren't ready to hear.
This often brings up a major concern for people, though.
Let me guess. If I'm not the doer and it's all just nature, am I just a puppet? Is this fatalism?
That's the one. It's a critical misunderstanding. This philosophy is the opposite of fatalism. Your agency doesn't disappear, it shifts to a higher level.
How so? If my actions are just gunas?
Because you are the conscious witness, and that witness has the power of awareness. By observing the play of gunas within your own mind and body, you can consciously choose which qualities to cultivate. You can choose to act in ways that encourage more sattva, clarity, harmony, peace, and less rajas or tamas.
Becomes about curating my inner environment rather than controlling outer events.
Beautifully put. You stop trying to wrestle the river into submission and instead learn to navigate it skillfully. Your power lies in awareness, not in brute force of will.
Okay, but what about a real-world high-pressure situation? My boss needs a report by 5, and I'm stressed. The feeling of I have to get this done is overwhelming. How does observing gunas help then?
That's the perfect test case. Instead of being consumed by the storm, you can do a guna check-in. Take one breath and notice, okay, there's a lot of rajas here. Agitation, pressure, frantic energy. There might be some tamas, a feeling of wanting to procrastinate. Just by naming it, you've created a sliver of space.
And from that space?
You ask, what would a sattvic response be? Maybe it's closing other tabs, making a clear 2-point list, and working steadily. You still do the report. You act, but you're no longer a slave to the panic. You're acting from a place of clear observation.
So let's bring this all together. What are the big takeaways from these two powerful verses?
Okay. First, that everything we perceive as action is really just the gunas, the modes of nature interacting with each other. Our bodies, minds, senses, and the world are all part of this dance.
Good. And what about our true identity in all of this?
Our true self is the silent witness to it all, not the doer. Realizing this leads to detachment, which is freedom.
Excellent. And the final piece? Our responsibility?
That wisdom includes knowing not to just dump this on people who aren't ready for it. To guide through example and patience, not by blowing up their worldview.
Perfect. So for your practice between now and our next session, I have a small assignment for you. It's very simple.
I'm ready.
Pick one, and only one, routine activity you do every day. Could be brushing your teeth, washing dishes, your commute. For the duration of that activity, your only job is to observe it as a play of gunas. Notice the sensations, the movements, the thoughts, all as natural phenomena. No, I am doing this. Just watch.
So just observe without judging or identifying.
Exactly. Don't try to feel detached or enlightened. Just practice seeing it differently for 2 minutes a day. See what happens. That's where the real work begins.